Welcome, one and all, to Scotch and Smoke Rings episode 470. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with my suspenders set to maximum stun. Got a great show for you today. Sorry about being so late. I announced on Twitter today that I was going to be an hour late. It ended up being about an hour and a half late, and that's because today's my birthday. And I have been reveling with the family. We've been having a great time. Went out for lunch earlier today. Had a lot of games with the kids. And, yeah, I kind of lost track of time. So, there we go. Anyway, they're going to be going to bed soon. And now I have time to do the show. So, glad you're able to join me today. Even if the timing is a little bit off. But we're still going to have a good time. We'll be playing some Rage 1 today, just like we did last week. And we'll, let's see, I forget, we found Subway Town. And we completed one quest for the gangster-type mayor guy. So we'll be going back to him and doing another quest with him today. But first, we have to smoke the cigar. Thank you, everybody in the chat who is saying happy birthday today. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Very kind. Let's see, where's my cutter? I have it. There it is. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my video on Little Lamplight today. About time I tackled Little Lamplight, don't you think? Lots of really interesting information that we find at Little Lamplight. A city of children, an interesting idea, hard to execute, but I think they did a fairly good job of it. But the Little Lamplight story is just the jumping off point before diving into the pool of Paradise Falls. So we've got a lot to look forward to this and next week when we tackle Paradise Falls, Big Town, Georgetown, and everything else that that is related to Paradise Falls. Thank you for the tip, Lone Lump. Have you heard about Fallout Miami? And happy birthday. Thank you, sir. I have heard about Fallout Miami. It sounds very interesting. I talked about it, was it last week? Maybe the week before? Anyway, the trailer was great. It's one of the best trailers I've seen for a fan-made, DLC-sized piece of content. So I look forward to seeing what they come up with. Hello, world, with a tip saying happy birthday, Oxhorn. Well, thank you very much. Birthday donation from Hudson Louis. Very kind. Jacob Prower says, why was the duck so funny? Because he kept on quacking jokes. Thank you. Darian says, Georgetown Police Department. Exactly. We'll be tackling the Georgetown Police Department soon. Christopher Hewitt says, happy birthday, fellow Leo. Well, thank you very much. That's right, I am a Leo, aren't I? But I don't know what that's supposed to say about me. I think it's supposed to say that I was born in August. That's all it means, right? What does a Leo even mean? Anthony says, Ox, I loved your take on Little Lamplight and Vault 106. I like that you take it that it's a mystery and not just bad writing like some do. love your stuff. Okay. Thanks. I think he's probably talking more about Vault 106. Than Little Lamplight. Yeah. There are a few things in Vault 106 that are hard to explain. But I like to err on the side of giving Bethesda too much credit, because it's really arrogant to think that we're so smart that we know everything that Bethesda was thinking when they wrote that, and The only explanation is that they made a mistake. And I've done that kind of thinking many times in the past, only to have a part of the story that I completely missed explained to me. And I'm like, oh, well, now I feel like a tool. So I'm trying to avoid that kind of, judgment upon Bethesda. So when there's a part of the story that I don't understand, instead of leaping on the, well, it's just bad writing bandwagon or Bethesda's lazy bandwagon, I try to just think about it as carefully as I can from every single angle. And 9 times out of 10, you can come up with reasoning that works within the lore of the game. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a contradiction. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad writing. The Vault 106 issue is a bit of a stretch. The fact that we find vault dwellers wearing vault suits, suffering the effects of the drugs in Vault 106 200 years after they were supposed to have began the experiments, it raises a lot of issues. I mean, it means ultimately that either they're raiders or scavengers, or the drug gives them immortality. I mean, those are the only two options I can think of that can explain that. And neither of them are satisfactory. Both of those options bring up more issues with the story. So that might be an example of, just Bethesda not thinking enough about it. But who knows? It could be either of those scenarios. So anyway, thank you. Andy Garcia with a tip. Thank you, sir. Bamboozled again says, happy birthday to the man who has brightened up my world. Cheers to you, Oxhorn. Well, cheers to you. Thank you so much. What's your favorite Fallout game? They're all great. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. They're all great in their own way. Warren Kransky says, good day from Australia, Oxhorn. Happy birthday, mate. Love to watch your videos on night shift when you upload them. Keep up the good work. Yeah, it is night shift when I upload them your time, isn't it? Well, thank you. And I guess that means that it's night. Yeah, it's night now, so early morning for you, I suppose, over there. Master in the Assassin says, Oxhorn, have you heard of the Storyteller? I had not heard of the Storyteller when I started my channel, but I inevitably quickly heard of the Storyteller after people started making comparisons. So I am familiar with the Storyteller, but I sadly haven't watched much of his content. Jonathan says, which vault would you choose to live in and why? Vault 81, since no one dies. That experiment failed thanks to the Overseer. Hope you had a good birthday. Love the video, says Danklord Carter. Thank you very much. I did have a great birthday, and you are indeed welcome. Forza says, what's up, Oxhorn? How are you today? Happy birthday. I'm doing very well. I had a wonderful birthday with the kiddos and the beautiful wife. We went and had a nice big brunch at a local pancake, diner area. And I just hung out with the family all day. It was great. Didn't do any work. I haven't done any work today, which is nice. I'm going to be doing some work after this because the kids are asleep and my wife's asleep or getting ready to go to sleep. So I'm going to do some work after my show in preparation for my upcoming episodes this week. But yeah, it's been a very relaxing day. I had a nap. Can you believe that? I haven't had a nap in ages. I took a nap today. It was wonderful. I never thought I'd be one of those guys where a nap would be exciting to me. I'm totally that guy right now. Just the thought of taking a nap earlier in the day, that's what I was looking forward to. And then the moment to lie down and take a nap, it was just, it couldn't be measured, the joy. Oh, I'm that guy now. Love the LA Noire series, says Luke Brown. You are indeed, well, I'm grateful, because I love the LA Noire series as well. I'm focusing on Paradise Falls and Fallout 3 for the next few days, but we will, of course, continue with LA Noire eventually. Skylar says, I love you, Oxhorn. Haven't kept up with your streams for a while. I was in Japan with my girlfriend. Can't wait for Fallout 76. I know. I'm stoked. I'm excited. I am doing everything I can to prepare for Fallout 76. I'm considering building a new computer for it. Well, some part of what I did today is I shopped around for computer parts to try and put it together, but it's really overwhelming. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I wanted to do something. I'm considering doing something different from what I did last time. If you remember, I think it was 2 years ago now. Gosh, I released a video showing off the computer that I built just for my my Fallout video production, and I built it from scratch, and it's got some pretty good hardware. But you know, it's not that it wasn't that difficult to put together. I didn't put any water cooling in there. It's just fan cooled and all of that. And I also didn't pay any attention to the aesthetic. I just I bought the best component I could afford at the time, put it in a big black box, and it works great. And it's the video that I continue to use today. Or it's the computer that I continue to use today. But I got the idea that I might want to build another computer before Fallout 76 comes out, just so that I have something dependable for all of the daily live streams I'll be doing when it comes out, and a backup computer in case anything happens. And I've been researching parts and how to put together like a water-cooled system, and it's complicated. Buying the water cooling pump, and then the radiator, and the fans, and the pipes, and you gotta get the hard pipes, and then a heat gun so that you can bend the pipes, and then you gotta cut them to shape, and then you gotta get like a cold block for the GPUs, and if you're doing SLI, then it's 2 of those cold blocks. You gotta pipe it in to the same pump as the CPU cooler, and it's just really daunting. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Maybe I'll still do it. I'm not sure. Ah, I get to talking and my cigar goes out. Stop Motion says, greetings from Norge. Pay your sense of style has inspired me and my buds so much. We wear blazers and fedoras to every event we go to. Happy birthday. Well, thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I am not wearing a blazer, and this isn't a fedora. This is a derby. But I suppose you would be forgiven for not seeing the difference because my headphones are bending it. So this is what it looks like without the headphones. As you can see, it's not a fedora, it's a derby. It's a completely different type of hat. And I'm not wearing a blazer. And I typically don't wear blazers. But, good on you. And thank you very much. Danklord Carter says, I have money. So here, take some more money. Thank you, Danklord. I'll take your money. I appreciate it. Dank Mario, dank is a popular word for names these days. Dank Mario says, I love you. You missed a $200 tip. I did? Oh, that's 200 SEK. I missed a lot because they've been flying off the screen. Tom with a $200 SEK, which I don't believe is it's not $200 in the American dollar after exchange rate, but still a very welcome tip. Thank you, sir. Says, happy birthday, Mr. Oxhorn. I really love your LA Noire series. Thank you, good sir. I will continue to produce them. Tom with another one says, Mr. Awesome Ox, what will you do when you reach 1 million subscribers? Probably the same thing I do every day. And not take over the world. Just make more videos. Ajax says, hey Oxhorn, you may have talked about this before, but do you know, or are we told, what powers Nick Valentine? I'm assuming nuclear energy. That's a great question. Nuclear energy does not power the Gen 3 synth. It derives its energy from food and sleep. It's all the same things that we humans derive our energy from. But they're constructed in a very different way. You know, they're basically, you know, biologically human. So, but Nick Valentine is one of the first Gen 2 synths. He's a very early model Gen 2 synth. And we see gizmos and components whirling around inside his head. So yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming he's fueled by some sort of nuclear energy. Dave says, happy birthday, Ox. I love what you do. You get me through work. Did you see my Noir Condo post where I figured out the synth name? Rick Deckard's LAPD ID is B23-54 from Blade Runner. I don't know if it was your comment, but I did see a comment from a user who figured that out. That Rick Deckard's name, I'm sorry, Rick Deckard's LAPD ID was B263. And then in the mod, the synth's the Courser's name was B263. So I get that tie-in. It's great for the Blade Runner tie-in, but it doesn't help much for being lore friendly, because as we know, every single synth in the Fallout universe has a 4-digit name. So he's completely breaking with the tradition just that he can have his Blade Runner reference. It's a great reference, but the Institute wouldn't do that. Warren says, "G'day from Australia, Oxhorn. Happy birthday, mate. Love to watch your videos on night shift." Oh, I'm going back now. Okay, I think I've covered everything. Matthew says, happy birthday. You helped me fall in love with Fallout. So who's your favorite bot? Mine is Nick Valentine. I believe Nick is probably my favorite bot as well. Are we counting Gen 3 synths as bots? Because Curie comes in a close second. She's just so adorable. But Nick is, his personality is just great. Yes, he's modeled after, what, Humphrey Bogart? He's a little bit cliche, but still I love everything about him. He's a great character. Great story as well, and great sense of ethics. SAK is SAK, says Tom, is Swedish kronor. 10 SEK is about $1. Oh, well, thank you very much. That was 20 bucks, and then $5, and then $5. Wow, so 30 bucks. Thank you, Tom. You've been very generous this stream. I appreciate it. Juicy Fallout says, Ox, I don't think anyone has said this yet, but are you aware that there is an Oxhorn Settler mod on the Xbox One? I use it for one of my settlers. Yeah, I am aware. The author of that mod sent me a message after he made it, and I was flattered more than anything. I thought it was hilarious. Christopher, with a tip, says, in the grand scheme of things, being a Leo doesn't mean anything, but it was the first words to fly off my fingertips. I see. Well, that, I agree. In the grand scheme of things, being a Leo doesn't really mean much. But thank you for the birthday wishes as well. Am I the only one who got a Children of the Corn vibe from Little Lamplight, says the Dark Seraph? It might be due to the technical limitations Bethesda had at the time. It's so frustrating, because it would be so frustrating to be a game designer, because what you produce can never match what you imagine, especially 10 years ago. Now today, gaming technology has advanced so far that almost anything is possible if you have the time and the money to build it. But if you take a look at some of the initial concept art from Fallout 3 and Little Lamplight in particular, the place looked, I mean, it looked fascinating and beautiful and cool and, you know, wastelandy and grungy and all of that. And then the Little Lamplight that we get, it gets all of the check marks on the list, but we really don't walk away with the same awestruck vibe that we get by looking at the concept art. At least I don't. When I look at the concept art, I can flip through that page after page, and it's like, wow, you know, awe-inspiring. And then I get to Lamplight Caverns in the game, and the story is cool, and I enjoy talking with all of the characters, but the cavern itself doesn't really smack me in the face with awe. So, and I think that was just due to the limitations of the game engine, of the technology that they had. Another limitation was there were only 2 ages of children in Little Lamplight. Young, like 10-year-old kid, and adult. And they had to have every single child fit one of those two bodies. And it didn't really work well with the lore of the game. Some of the kids, like Bumble, are only 6. Some of the kids, like Joseph, are supposed to be, what, I believe Joseph was 15 or something like that. McCready is 12, but they all look the same. They have the exact same game model. There's no teenager in the Fallout universe. There's small child or adult, which is why Sticky, he looks like he's 23 or something like that. Oh, hold on a minute. It's my brother. Hey, bro. What's that? Well, thank you. You're live on Scotch and Smoke Rings as well. Yeah, it's Scotch and Smoke Rings Day. I am. I took an hour. I slept for an hour and then hung out with the kids, so I started late. But who does? Sasha. All right. Well, tell her happy birthday back. And thank you. All right, love you, bro. All right, bye-bye. So we had a conversation this morning, and he's apologizing. He called me to apologize, to say that to say I'm sorry for not wishing you a happy birthday this morning when he called. And it completely slipped my mind that it was my birthday this morning. I didn't know it was my birthday until my wife reminded me. Because I was sitting here working at my computer on my little Lamplight video. And you'll notice I got it published really late today. I didn't expect it to be almost an hour long, so I didn't get it published till noon. So my wife comes downstairs. I've been working all night. It's, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still clacking away. And then both my kids race into my office and say, "Happy birthday, Daddy." And I'm like, "Oh, right. Thanks, kids." Because my wife had told them, "All right, it's your daddy's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday." And they, of course, expected cake and presents. And I'm like, grown-ups don't have cake and presents. Well, not every grown-up has cake and presents. So instead, in lieu of cake and presents, I decided to take the family out for a nice pancake lunch and took the rest of the day off. We had a little nap, which is why my eyes are a little red, and which is why I missed the beginning of the program. Anyway, my brother wished me happy birthday. That was very nice of him. Because he forgot, and that's okay. What was I saying? Yeah, but the kids in Little Lamplight, yeah, there are only 2 ages, and they have to make every age of every kid in the lore match that. And just children in general in Bethesda games don't look right. At least in Fallout 3, every kid is different, so to speak. In Fallout 4, have you ever noticed that every kid is exactly the same? Just think about all the kids in Fallout 4 that we know. Nat, Sean, they have the same face. Shen, they all have the same face. It's infuriating. They just didn't put a lot of time and attention in modeling children in Fallout 4. Every character has the same face. Even the most important characters in the game, like Sean, have the exact same face. So just in general, Bethesda doesn't do kids very well. At least not in the Fallout games, as I've come to see. Dawson says, "Happy birthday, Ox. By the way, are your grow-ins rolling?" My grow-ins rolling? I don't understand. I know that we had that "my balls are rolling" gaff from a few weeks ago. Is that what you're referencing? Are my grow-ins rolling? I don't know. I hope they are. Whatever I have that's growing, I hope it's rolling. Jack says, "Happy birthday, you classy man. May your suspenders always be set to maximum stun, and may your glass always be filled with scotch." Why, thank you. I'm actually out of scotch today. My bottle is empty, but so instead I'm drinking this beer. And my wife picked it out, and she knows exactly what I like. It's a Deschutes Black Butte Porter. The darker, the better. Cheers. Chris Morgan with a tip. Thank you, Chris. Says, happy birthday. I have spent months watching your lore videos and absolutely love what you have made. The first thing I'm doing when I get my new job is subbing to your Patreon. Well, thank you. That's very kind. And congrats on your new job. But do me a favor, please. Before you spend any more money on me, as much as I appreciate it, if you're getting a brand new job, you probably are already planning on doing this, but you know, dump as much money in your company-funded 401k as possible, start your Roth IRA, maximize those, and then if you have anything left over, I will gladly take your tip. But take care of yourself and your family first. That's my only suggestion. Get that Roth IRA maximized. It's important. Kieri Hyde says, happy birthday. Well, thank you very much. Grievous Reborn says, in Star Wars The Old Republic, you're about to lose me. It's an MMO. Okay, thanks. Kids look worse than in Fallout 3 and 4 in Vegas. Oh, do they really? I have to Google that later. And also, happy birthday. Well, thank you, Grievous Reborn. Yeah, I wonder why they do kids so poorly in video games. Noob Gamer says, hello, my name is Tyler, and I just rediscovered you. Well, welcome back to the program. Dark Gamer says, happy birthday, Ox, and it's my birthday, too. Well, congratulations on your birthday, Dark Gamer. Happy birthday to you. Your parents have impeccable taste. On days which they choose to. Anyway. Hey, welcome new member, Maddie Thornley. Thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. The Ultimate Sword says, what do you think happened to the Lone Wanderer in Fallout 3? You know, we don't know. And, you know, that's intentional. They don't want to tell the story of the Lone Wanderer. That's one thing that Interplay, in my opinion, made a mistake on doing with Fallout 2, is they had a canonical ending for the character that you were supposed to play in Fallout 1. Also, I think you can even turn him into a companion later on, and that kind of strips you of your ability to tell your own character's story from Fallout 1, because basically by the time of the events of Fallout 2, anything that you did or said in Fallout 1 as a character was a lie. That wasn't true. Here's the canonical ending. In fact, you could even have that character as a party member, as a companion. So I'm glad that they are ambiguous about those characters, but those characters do exist in the lore of the world. They're real people whose events, you know, affected others, and it's interesting how they connect all of the main characters we get to play throughout the lore of the game. For example, both the Lone Wanderer and the Sole Survivor meet MacCready. We can draw a line all the way from the Sole Survivor to the Vault Dweller in Fallout 1. Through MacCready, through Madison Lee, and then from Fallout 3 we can go to 2 and 1 through Harold, for example. And in Fallout New Vegas, we connect the dots through Cass. Cass and her father, because Cass's father was a companion in Fallout 2. So, it's interesting how we can connect all of the dots and make a little constellation just by the people our player character gets to meet in the series. Jake says, do smoke rings, please. Okay. I've got a bit of a breeze. All the smoke is being sucked that way, so I'll try again. And thank you, Mrs. Z. I see you hard at work there in the chat moderating. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, they're not lasting long because of this breeze. Christopher says, happy birthday, Oxhorn. Hope it's been a lot of fun defrosting my freezer, or I would have sent this earlier. Hey, we've all got our priorities. Defrosting a freezer is up there. It's got to be done. It's one of those things. Corey says, children in Skyrim are copy and paste like Fallout. Are they really? I believe it. Tom says, really cool that your birthday is one day after mine. May I ask how young you become? For your information, I turned 38 yesterday. I turned 37 today. So today is my 37th birthday. General G says, if you were in Fallout 4, what faction would you be in? Well, I'd prefer to be in the Minutemen. I think their goals in the Commonwealth are the most noble. Mason says, happy birthday, Oxhorn, with a tip. Thank you, Mason. Jacob Prower with a tip says, why did the Aardvark cross the road? To beat up the guy that was telling jokes about him. Happy birthday. You and Knock Knock would get along well, I think. That was a reference to my Lamplight video from today. Dawson Holiday says, that's a reference to Follows Chalk. Remember you said you would call your balls the Growans in honor of... Ah! Growans. Gotcha. I always thought it was spelled Growans. Growans. Wow, nice memory. I made that video over a year ago, didn't I? Good memory. Jason says, well, happy birthday, Ox, and hate to do this, but 3 guys walk into a bar, the 4th one ducked. Lol. Yeah, no, I'm so glad you did that. But thank you for the tip. Vape Lord says, hey, Oxhorn, I just finished watching Old World Blues. I couldn't stop watching. I loved it so much, and it showed a lot that I missed. Well, thank you. I did try to cover absolutely everything. Which was difficult to do with Old World Blues. There was a whole lot to that game, and it was a lot of fun. Hawkrine says, happy birthday, Ox. You love the story of the survivalist. Tip to go towards Scotch. Cheers. Thinking about doing another comp build just for a chance to play 76, which I play mostly on PS4 now. Yeah, I can't do the console gaming, personally. I don't know, the giant TV 15 feet away and the controller, I hate controllers. I can't stand using a controller. I've got to have the flexibility of a keyboard. At least then I can, bind my own keys, and there's a lot more room to work. I could never do console gaming. I used to when I was younger. My brother and I played a lot of Super Nintendo. Hawkeye says, thank you all for your great videos, man. You're a gamer we can look up to. Well, I'm flattered. Thank you very much. Big Boy says, happy birthday. A settlement needs your help. Minutemen are a fun playthrough. They are. The Minutemen ending is a lot of fun. It's difficult to get. I tried getting the Minutemen ending on my first character and failed, because I didn't know how to go about it and ended up with the railroad ending. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. Xander72 says, happy birthday, Ox. I think I remember you back in your World of Warcraft days, but recently I've been watching your Fallout videos, and you were a big reason I started to stream myself. Just finished a Fallout 4 stream earlier today. Well, Xander, thank you so much for watching, both back then and now. Blake says, hey Oxhorn, do you like the Enclave? I'm probably going to save my opinions for the Enclave for when we get deeper into the Fallout 3 plotline. I don't want to give away too many spoilers too soon. Also, I haven't really learned everything there is to know about the Enclave yet, so yeah, I'm going to wait until I meet them in Fallout 2 and Fallout 3. Hyper Fury says, road to 1 million subscribers. Indeed, yeah, we're well on our way. We broke 700,000 a couple months ago. We broke 8 and then 9 recently. I think it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks since we broke 9. So yeah, we're gaining subscribers quickly. We'll be at 1 million soon. I should really think of something to do, but I haven't. I haven't thought of anything special to do. I don't know. I'll continue making content like usual, I guess. I can't think of anything special to do for that. Maddie Thornley says, I need to figure out which videos to download with YouTube Premium for my upcoming flight tomorrow. There's something about being in the air and watching videos about the nuclear apocalypse. Yeah, hopefully that won't put you off. You should download my video on the downed flights of Fallout 4, which I did make. We covered all of the Skylanes flights and the Horizon flights in Fallout 4 and explore their wreckages. And when you're done with that, you can download my video on the ocean floor of Fallout 4, because we find a lot of plane wreckages on the bottom of the ocean in Fallout 4, so that should be great for your trip. Just don't listen to the flight controls or the black box recordings that we get in the games, because those are scary. Trevor says, happy birthday, have a good one, with a tip. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it. Jackal says, what's your favorite quest or quest line from the Fallout franchise? And Doc Dad says, Orcs in Space 3. Yeah, maybe. No, I think I'm done with my old Warcraft videos. Although I had plans for an Orcs in Space 3. Favorite quest? That's really hard to answer. There are so many really good ones. I enjoyed the McCarran Airport quests in Fallout New Vegas. In Fallout 3, I'm not thinking of any quests that stand out, because I don't know. I really enjoy exploring the environments of Fallout 3. Fallout 3 does a great job of giving you places that tell their own stories, and you get to piece things together. I really enjoyed that. Bobby No-Nos was a lot of fun in Fallout 4. That was a really enjoyable quest. The story arc with Hancock was great. I know, there are just so many good ones, it's hard to pick. Dawson Holiday says, when you get 1 million subscribers, you'll have to finally get $1 million studio and surround yourself with sexy babes. Is that what YouTubers do with they get sexy babes with their 1 millionth subscriber? Well, if they start knocking on my door, I mean, I'll let them into the studio. You know, they can wave to people on camera. So I'll just wait for that to happen. Sweet Roll says, happy birthday, Ox. Love your content. My favorite is the survivalist. What did the tomato say to the other tomato in a race? Ketchup. Yes. Thank you. That's right. Canuck says, Ox, not to pressure you, but is there an ETA on Deacon's profile? No, there's no ETA on any videos that I ever do. And I try not to, I do my best not to announce things ahead of time, unless I'm really sure that they're going to be made soon, to avoid issues like this, where people hear a topic that they really want, and then they, you know, every single video after that is, where's the Deacon video? Where's the Deacon video? Where's the Deacon video? Still working on it. It's one of those things where the companion videos are some of the more difficult videos to do because there are so many moving parts. In Fallout 4, at any rate. The companions in Fallout 3 are easy. The companions in Fallout New Vegas are much easier as well, although they're much more difficult than Fallout 3. But the companions in Fallout 4 are so hard to make videos about because there's no one place to get all of their lore. Some of them have a quest that you can complete, so you could tell the story of that quest, but that's always an incomplete look at the character because then you have to go through every single affinity tree and all of their affinity dialogue. And if they're a really important plot character like Deacon, you need to visit all of his plot points in the game to snag dialogue from those so that you can paint a better picture of him. And sometimes those are really complicated plot points to do. For example, Deacon's intro, when you first meet him in the railroad headquarters, is completely different depending on the choices you've made in the game. So if you haven't done anything and you've gone straight there, he doesn't know who you are, and he's nervous and anxious about that because it's his job in the railroad to know people. And the fact that you show up and he's never, you know, seen any of your exploits, and yet he's still vouching for you, it's a really awkward moment. But if you've done many of the other quests in the game, he's been spying on you, and he lists all of them off. Then we see him in Diamond City and in Good Neighbor. But I mean, there are lots of different things that I have to gather in order to do the Deacon video. Not to mention trying to solve the mystery of who he is, which he does not make easy because he's a perpetual liar. So I find myself, what I've been doing to research the Deacon video is I downloaded a transcript of his script in Fallout 4, which includes every single word he says in the entire game, even if it's in passing to some NPC. And I've been reading it. Light reading. Not really. It's not light reading. It's a lot of tedious reading. But I've taken pages and pages of notes of really interesting things that Deacon has said that we normally don't see because it's in passing to some side character, or only if you visit very specific areas. And my task now is to trigger those events so that I can tell the story I want to tell. I know what I want to say, I know the character that I want to paint with Deacon, but to capture the evidence of that is the tricky bit, because I have found that he just doesn't. For example, not to spoil anything, but we know that Deacon knows about Robert House, because if you take him to Covenant, in one of his little side conversations with Deezer, he tries to use a Robco shutdown code on Deezer. And he says, like, Robert House recall code, you know, then he starts going through it. But he knows that Robco created the Mr. Handy and that Robert House was in charge of Robco. And that's, I mean, that's not something most Wastelanders know. I mean, if you're the Lone Wanderer or the Courier and you've gone to H&H Tools, which was his family's old factory, or you've met Robert House, or you've read all of the lore about the Mr. Handys and all of that. But even then, the Mr. Handys were made by General Atomics. So there's all these things that are frustrating. But anyway, I've taken him to Covenant, and I can't get him to say it. I know he says it if you get him close to Deezer, but he's never said it. I've taken him 3 or 4 times, and it's been that way with a couple other things that I've discovered that he can say in certain places, and then I'll take him to those places, and he just doesn't say it. And I can't get him to say it. There's no console command to force him to say it, so it's slow going. But I'll get it done. Don't worry. I'm working on it. It's just a little tricky. Mr. Thug Life Master said, why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. Grievous Reborn says, where do you find the transcripts? I would love them to read them myself. Well, they're in every single game installation. I believe you can just navigate through the game installation of your Fallout 4 installation to find it. But they're also copied to wikia.com. If you just go to Deacon's profile on Wikia, there's an entire transcript at the very bottom that says Deacon. And there are 2. There's his NPC transcript as a character in the game, and then there's his companion transcript. So you get to read through, 2 20-page documents of Deacon talking. And oftentimes you don't know who he's talking to because they're kind of confusing. The script will show you the phrase that would. So if he's talking to somebody else, the script is broken into 3 columns, and it shows you the thing that somebody said right before the event that triggered what he was supposed to say, and then whatever was said afterwards, whether it was by Deacon or by the Soul Survivor or something else. So you got to do a lot of reading between the columns to try and figure out what it was he actually said. Lamb Sauce says, is Fallout New Vegas worth getting today? Also, happy birthday, Papa Ox. Thank you. And yeah, it's worth getting today if you can get it to work. It's going to take a lot of tweaking to get it to work on a PC running Windows 10 in 2018. But if you can, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun to play. It's frustrating. I'll scroll up to pause over a comment, and then just as I'm about to read it, YouTube or the browser will just push everything off the screen, and I miss it. Monster Man Alex says, do you know why orphans like baseball? Or do you know why orphans don't like baseball? It's because they can't find a home. Whew, ouch. That's a mean one. The Dan Slayer Rukia says, finally, seeing one of your live streams. Well, I'm glad that you finally made it. Groganomics says, would you ever consider bringing on an intern / helper to the channel? I used to co-host this show with my brother quite frequently. Many years ago. You'll find some of our old videos in the replays of Scotch and Smoke Rings. He would come by almost every single week, for a year there almost. There's probably an entire series of videos that we did together. But then he got married, and it's time. This is what happens when you get married. You got married, I got married, and we got kids now. It's difficult. He'll come by every now and then, still, and co-host the show. But you know what? The only thing I've really considered is not a co-host, but a producer. Someone who can navigate through the comments and maybe even take live phone calls so that to make things easier so that I can focus on answering the question and not missing comments and sifting through them. Ty the Turtle says, how did you get that scar under your eye? I got that from my dad, but it wasn't a bad memory. No, I was wrestling with him, and my dad wrestled with me a lot as a kid. It was always a lot of fun wrestling. But one day he was a little stronger than he thought he was, and he was balancing me on his legs, and he kicked with his legs. I think I was 5 or 6 at the time, and I went flying through the air. And we were in my dad's office, and my dad had one of those blue iron filing cabinets, metal with like really sharp edges, and my face went right into the edge of the filing cabinet. I remember the needle that they used to numb my eye before they gave me the stitches. It was horrifying. But now, you know, it's a fond little memory. Caleb says, ever considered doing some Elder Scrolls videos like Skyrim and stuff? Nah, you know, I haven't been, I'm not big into the Elder Scrolls series. And I think that's because I've had my fill of fantasy. I thought Deacon was a synth, says the Pop-Topper man. No. I mean, you can kill him in the game and he does not drop a synth component. So he's not a synth. Anyway, before I did this, people might remember me from my World of Warcraft days, where I made machinima and music videos, and I had a lot of fun with that. And as you know, World of Warcraft is sort of a fantasy game. And, you know, I kind of got all my fantasy kicks out with that. And now I'm exploring something else. I enjoy science fiction. I enjoy atom punk, retrofuturism. And so this is what I'm exploring now. Halibut King says, are you going to do lore videos on Fallout 76? I think it would be difficult with the multiplayer. Well, we're going to find out. I am in the beta, and when the beta drops, I'll, of course, stream it, broadcast it. We'll do live streams like this. And, yeah, I will do content on Fallout 76. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do you enjoy steampunk? Asks Alexinator. It's not my favorite. It's okay. It's alright. I think I like diesel punk better than steampunk, and then I like atom punk better than diesel punk. But anything in retrofuturism is fun. Hey Alex, are you excited for Cyberpunk 2077? I'm not sure. I watched the trailer and it looked fascinating. And I do love, you know, the genre of Cyberpunk and the style, and it looks really fun. But I don't really know anything about the story or the game. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the gameplay is going to be like. I don't know what the story is going to be about. The style looks great based on the trailer. But yeah, I don't really know enough about it yet. Pedro Flores says Deacon's wife was a synth before she was killed by raiders. That's what he tells us. That's the problem with making a profile video on Deacon. Most of what we know, he told us. But he's a liar. We don't know the truth. And so the tricky bit is trying to pick out what is the truth from what he's telling us. Sure, by the time we finish our companion affinity tree, maybe he loves us so much that he wouldn't dare lie to us. But then again, he is the one who gives us his own recall code and tells us not to read it, and then we read it and we discover it's not a recall code, and I mean, that's the same guy. So it's like, That's the frustrating thing about Deacon. He's fun to have as a companion, and I don't want to steal my own thunder. I'm making a video on this very topic, but he's fun to travel with as a companion because he's sarcastic and snarky and has a great sense of humor. But as a human being whom you're supposed to be able to trust and respect, you can't, because he's just a liar. You can't trust and respect him. I mean, it's just, you never really know. I think there are a few things about Deacon that are admirable, that are solid, and true blue. Like, he does believe in the railroad. And he's self-sacrificial for the railroad's best interests. And that's admirable. And his passion for synths is there. It's subdued because he's more sarcastic than anyone else, but it is there. So it's finding those nuggets of information and putting them into the video, which is the tricky bit. Sarah Murphy says, when you first started, did you expect you would become this level of celebrity? I'm a celebrity? What? When did I miss the memo? Ah, man. To answer your question, no, I had never intended to get this many subscribers. If we're basing it all solely on subscribers, no. I have been doing this broadcast, Scotch and Smoke Rooms, for almost 10 years now. So I've, you know, I'm used to people coming up to the show and talking and chatting and having a good time. But not this many people. This is a lot. This is way more people than... If you watch any of the old episodes, it was always the same people that would come to Scotch and Smoke Rings. We would know each other by first name basis. I even had one of them come as a guest on the show once. His family, he was a great guy. Greg, are you there? I don't know if he's there. His family flew up from where he lived, and he co-hosted the show with me, and I gave him his first cigar. His parents were there and everything. He was over 18. All right, he was over 18. But his parents were there on a work trip, and I gave him his first cigar. And, man, the poor guy. it was great. At that time, my office was a tiny little closet with a big window on this side. If you remember any of my old house, the house I lived in before the last one, my old office, it didn't have any ventilation. There was one window. All the other windows were nailed shut, and we were sitting here smoking cigars. My brother would come and co-host sometime, and then we have this guy, Greg, awesome guy. He came in to help co-host, and the three of us are sitting there in front of the camera smoking these stogies. It was horrible because it was in the middle of summer. It was hot outside, sun blaring down on us, no air conditioning, no ventilation, and we're all sucking down these hand-rolled Churchill-sized dark cigars. And it was his first one. And by the time he was done, we all sat down for a nice dinner afterwards. He was feeling it. He was feeling it. And I'm just really glad. We're all very grateful that he didn't spew. But anyway, yeah, it was a much more intimate show back in the day. But the show has exploded and become. It's to the point where I don't know anyone's first name anymore on the show. And it's hard for me to read every comment. I used to read every comment. I went out of my way. You know what I used to do on this program? I used to take recorded voices. So the viewers would go to a certain website and record their question, and then I would go through all the recordings, and we would listen to them and answer them, and it was a cool way for them to kind of call into the show without calling in. But now there's no way I could do that. So I mean, things change, and change isn't always what you expect, but. It's okay. You just adapt and you roll with it, and change can be good. Oh! Doggone it, it did it again. I was hunting for a specific comment that I saw that flew by, and then YouTube just... Laura L... Pardon me, wow, that came out. Laura said, in my first time playing, it broke my heart when Deacon told me he was BSing me. Yeah, I don't know what the developers were thinking. Did they think that having a perpetual liar as a companion would just... Everyone would think that would just be cute? It's annoying more than anything. Am I the only one here? Are Laura and I the only ones? I'm so conflicted on Deacon because I like him. He's charming, but he's so annoying. But I'll get into that. I'll get into that. I'm not going to do my video right now. I'm going to save it. Jay McCabe says, how many mods do you have active in your Fallout 4 plays? I found how quickly I can have them add up. It takes long cleaning to reduce. No, I'm suffering from too many mods. I've got hundreds. I've got over 200 mods installed, but I also went through and combined many of the ESPs that I was using because there's an ESP limit. I think it's 250 or something, and then you can't have any more mods. Your game starts to act weird. I've got over that because I combined a few ESPs, and there are many texture mods that I installed. That changes a model here and a texture there, pardon me, and it doesn't require an ESP. So I don't even know how many I have when you count all of those. Beer is not a good drink to drink on a live broadcast when you're supposed to do a lot of talking, because it has bubbles. I like Scotch. Scotch doesn't have bubbles. Where's my... I'm out of Scotch. Anyway, yeah, I find myself doing the same thing. I've been demodding over time. Like, when I first started playing Fallout 4, I was really excited about mods. I'm going on to the Nexus. Oh, that's a cool mod, and that's a cool mod. And I'm installing all these mods, trying new things out. I mean, if you watch any of my older videos, especially my settlement videos, you'll see that I experimented with a wide range of very interesting mods. And then, as I became more interested in the lore and less interested in settlement building, I started to realize I didn't need that mod, and I didn't need that mod, and I didn't really want that mod. And so I've been slowly demodding over time. Especially as I started doing lore, because I started to believe that a lot of the mods that I had experimented with early in my gameplay detracted from the lore of the game to an unreasonable extent. Like a lot of the costumes I had for my settlers, which I installed as an attempt to make each settler different, because they all look the same. When you get settlers in Fallout 4, Bethesda pulls from 5 faces, really, for settlers. There's like this bank of settler looks, and you get 5 or 6 of them. And if your settlements, like mine, had more than 5 people, then, you know, you would get duplicates of the same character, which it would be difficult telling them apart. Especially if you put gear on their inventory, and then you got to track them down. Well, which one is it that guy or is it that guy? They both look the same. And then the settlers also took from the same pool of inventory as well. Pipe pistols and a few farmhand rags. And you're level 150 in the game or so, and you've got these level 150 super mutant attacks, and all of your settlers are spawning with pipe pistols and stuff. It didn't make any sense. So I had a ton of mods installed that changed their armor, that, you know, randomized their faces and all of that. But then I began to see that my settlements were looking a little bit too clean and too pristine, and some of the characters were wearing costumes that would better fit in this world and not in the Fallout world. So I've been removing a lot of that stuff over time from my gameplay, and I'm still working on it. But if you compare my settlement build videos that I've published recently, like Nordhagen Beach, for example, to my older ones, you'll see a very distinct difference in the kind of settlements I built and in the characters in my settlements as well. Clarissa says, I love the bids. HBD. How about, no, HBD, what is it? For a minute there, I thought it stood for how about that? Love the vids, how about that? But then I realized that that is a TH word, but maybe that's HBD? I don't know what that means. Which Fallout is your favorite and why? Well, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, so I don't answer that question because they're all great. The Dark Seraph says, I like Deacon, but I don't trust him. Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. Okay, we should probably get to Rage if we're going to be playing it at all. Lilac says, have you ever found the location where all the skins were the same? I'm not sure what you mean by that. A settlement where all of the characters spawned and they looked exactly the same? That hasn't happened yet, but close enough. Oh, HBD, happy birthday. Right, right. Oh, man. Thank you. Don't know why I didn't put that together. Yes, I get it now. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, HBD. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. How about that? Overweight Outdoorsman says, would you ever do a political compass test? No. I like to keep politics away from my channel. People come here to kind of get away from all of that because we are inundated by it everywhere we go. I mean, you can't go on Facebook without having every friend you knew in high school or college just vomiting their political opinions onto their streams. You can't turn on the TV without, you know, every single news channel screaming at you about how... So no, I don't do politics on this channel. Alright. Let's get this fired up. Okay, almost there. Goodness, what's with the psycho music? I haven't listened to the loading screen music long enough to hear that in the past. Alright, let's continue. Where were we? I believe we were in Subway Town. Oh, I've got my music playing still, don't I? Yep, it's, There we go. Now, let me know the volume, if the gameplay is too loud, or if my talking is too loud, just let me know and so I can change it. Okay. Head to the management office upstairs in Subway Town. Is that it? Head to the management office upstairs in Subway Town? Oh, that's right. The Gearheads control the electricity around here, and I want to end their stranglehold on my town. Word on the street is the Gearheads have combined plutonium and feltrite. If we could get our hands on that, then our power problems would be over. Trouble is, they've got that stuff all locked up in the bank vault above us. So I need you to go and get it for me. Here's the key to the management office. You can find the office on the second floor in the back of the town. Okay. Noble says, hey Alex, I just got engaged. Well, congratulations to you. Right. Management office upstairs. Lots of doors. Ah! Ho ho ho! Wait, no, this is a bathroom. Oh! Oh man, that's filthy. And is there nothing here? What's the point of this? All these doors you can't open, then the one you can has a bathroom with nothing in it. There it is, management office. Ooh, okay. Can I pull out my guns yet? No. Enter the Gearhead vault. Oh, okay, so Russians?
When are the rockets supposed to arrive?
Do I not have any? Yes. Is that it? Oh, well, that was a bummer. Okay, so we got some mad Russians to shoot.
This place too dirty for my liking.
That's what I get for looting before shooting.
I'm down.
Whoa!
He alive. Get
Whoa, okay.
He's still alive.
Wow, that was a whole lot of dying all at the beginning. Do I have any more bandages I can make? No.
I don't see him.
It's like every Russian stereotype. The first thing you hear when you walk in is them talking about vodka. Then they start shouting, "Comrade." This is supposed to be a post-apocalypse. Okay.
Watch out left.
Oh, man. So who are these guys? Just bandits? Is that what I'm fighting? Oh, did I forget to refill on ammunition? I did. I forgot to refill on ammunition. What are those? Those look painful. Well, let's see. Might as well use them if I have them. Okay. Right. Those are bombs. That's what those are. Those are the things that look dangerous because you're not supposed to get too close to them. That was the point of that interesting design. Good job, Oxhorn. Alright. Well, at least I can try this again. Wait. Oh, we get to find it again. Okay, let's try to be a little bit more stealthy this time and save some of our ammunition. That's right, I made the lock grinder. Used it here. And inside we found more components to make another lock grinder.
I wish I was back in Mother Russia.
Mother Russia. Doggone it. Okay, moving to my sniper thing because I didn't get any ammunition. Although, since I died, I probably should have just got some, shouldn't I? How many lives do these guys have? Okay, I can see I'm going to be running out of ammunition pretty quickly. How many does it take? Goodness. Okay. Save. James says, hi, big fan. Love the Fallout series. Love to get to shout out. Answer my calls. I pray as you answer me. Oh, yeah. I'm glad to have you on the program. Thanks for watching. Then thank you for the tip, Spacebar. Holy cow! What was that? Alright, let's try be a little bit more stealthy. Save, just in case. At least I killed the mini-boss. Buckshot. I gotta explore over there just in case. Don't want to miss anything. Oh, and I can't. See anyone?
Incoming! I got the gate! I see him! There he is!
Okay. Bandages, hooray! Okay, so we've got some sort of fire trap over here. Can I ignite this gas? I can use this as a sniper rifle. Great! Let's switch to Fat Boys then. cool. Spacebar says, I plan on buying Fallout 76. Best channel ever. Thank you, sir. Whoops. How do I get over there? Wait, is that where I came from? It is where I came from, of course. So we can go up the ladder, or we can explore back here. And no, that's a dead end. Right, so it looks like the ladder is the way to go. Did I die by falling down? I think I did. I think I died by falling. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can... I'm going to try something here. Did I kill both? Those mind control bolts are great. Did I kill him? Where'd he go? I guess I killed him? Ah, dang it. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Ah. Hello. Nope. I dodged a bullet. Oops. Oh.
Come here, Sobak! He's still around somewhere. He is there!
Okay. Quick save.
There he is!
That. That turns off the gas. Okay. Is that the lift? Before going down, let's continue looting.
I see him!
And there we go. Okay, so that opened up this area over here. Great. Now there was that... I don't want to go back for it. ATM machines. Come on. I should be able to... Yes, okay. That's what I thought. I should have been able to get the top of his head there. Gotta take the band off the cigar before we start smoking it. Quick save. Holy cow, there's a lot of them. Think I can make it? Oh, nope, I can't. Was that my character screaming from the fire? That's great. Okay, looks like I gotta find some sort of valve. And to do so, I gotta fight off all these guys. Come on, stand up. Ooh, between the crack. Goodness. Well, we started playing this game right when they announced Rage 2 to see if it would be something we're interested in. And so far, I am enjoying it. I've been told that the single-player experience for Rage 1 wasn't that much to really get into, but so far I'm enjoying the gameplay. The story, but the gameplay is fun. Now, would they improve the story in Rage 2? Well, let's see. Quick save. Tristan says, Oxhorn, get ready for a big boy. Oh, there. Uh-oh. Goodness gracious, I'm out of bandages, aren't I? Come on, bandages, and I'm completely out of bandages. Alright, let's see if I can build any bandages. No! What do I need? What do I need? I need, like, antiseptic or something. Thank goodness for those pulse shots. Quick save.
What was that? Start looking.
What were those physics? That can't be good. Ooh. That's gonna chew me up. That's cool. Okay. Focus. There's the vault. Oh no, I just know they're gonna rush in behind me. Quick save just in case. Oh. It's a beryllium agitator. Inform Redstone of failure? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that my... Locate the plutonium feltrite in the old bank vault. Broken feltrite power cell. Okay, so it's not a failure of mine, it's that the plutonium wasn't in here, right? Ooh. Gold! Sweet, I'll take it. That's it, huh? That is the only thing I can do? Okay. He got chewed up by the blade. Was there a body? No, it got vaporized by that blade, didn't it? What? 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 These guys are so dumb. They're getting chewed up by the blade. But what exploded behind me, and why is this door locked, and what is going on? Ah, I see. Some sort of sarcophagus. No, it's a statue. Yeah! Oh my god! It blew me in the sky! Ah, and I died when I hit the ground. Oh, for Pete's sake. Brett says, love the videos. Keep it up. One of the best. Thank you. Come on, walk into the blade like you did last time. Oh no. Finally, it got him. Okay. Okay. I recognize that. You'd think I could blow up the tank on his back. Could have sworn I looted those last time. All right. Well, let's see what the mayor has to say.
Bang bang, killer. You sure showed those bandits who was...
Nope, that's that bathroom again.
Don't you be causing too much trouble.
Management office, where's Redstone? It's a maze. There he is. Mayor Red.
Hold on a minute. What the hell happened? I had good information about that Valentine, and these canisters got nothing in them. So either you were trying to rip me off, or someone lied to me. Either way, this is a problem. Which means it's also a problem for you. If the Gearheads even suspect I sent you there, they'll choke the power off. This calls for a more permanent solution. I need you to infiltrate their power plant, permanently redirect the power lead straight here, and then kill as many of those bastards as you can. Once the place is secure, my boys will be able to take over. Problem solved. But it starts with you. Now you do this for me. Get those damn Gearheads off my back, and I'll give you free rein to do your business in my town. We see eye to eye on this?
Sounds good.
Good. We got a deal. Now, a little advice. That Caprino you're driving, it's not gonna last long against what the Gearheads have waiting for you. I would see about getting something with a little more fight in it. I've got no more time for you. Take care of the Gearheads, or I'll take care of you.
All right, sounds good. Well, going to go ahead and save now, and that is going to be it for this broadcast. I need to head out and shoot some footage for my upcoming videos this week, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Had a great chat, lots of wonderful questions, and thanks for joining me on this broadcast of Rage 1. We've been having a whole lot of fun. We're a little over halfway through the plot of this story, I think. So we will get to the end, the exciting conclusion, in probably a few weeks. Anyway, thanks for coming. Be sure to tune in, not tomorrow. I'm not going to have a video for you tomorrow, but I will have a brand new video for you Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So look forward to that. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see ya next week here on Scotch and Smoke Rings, same Ox time, same Ox channel. Have a good night.